Welcome back, everybody. This is, just as a reminder, ESL Challenger League playoffs. We've got Entropiq versus sAw. We're starting things off here on Nuke, and so I made a little bit of a mistake there. I was talking about sAw being on the CT side, but instead it's the T side, and they're going for their standard rush.
Oh, first kill is going to be traded on either side. So I don't know who's going to be able to get one, but and he's unfortunately going to have his teammates drop down. Lack is going to be on site. Nickelback looking to make a little bit of a comeback here with his teammates. It's going to be a 3 versus 3. We're going to take a little bit of a slowdown as that bomb lost control, and the headshot's going to be coming out from Nickelback. Takes one. Arky's going to go down, and now the reverse beat from Nickelback trying to get out of it, trying to stay alive, using the USB to his advantage, but it's not going to work enough as Rome is going to be able to get the kill, and Forrester looking to hold off a ramp and make sure the rest of his teammates, although they are dead, aren't going to be falling for nothing at all. And we obviously just saw Crad get taken down. 1 versus 2 situation. The pressure's going to be on, and he can't afford to even let this bomb get implanted, so you can have as much of an advantage on the CT side as possible. Good kind of play style from sAw coming out from them so far. And now they're looking to clean out these angles. Blocking USP in hand. Smoke as well for the side of Roman. He's only got 40 HP. Now going to be going out. The shots are going to be raining out through it. Of course, they're going to be going in for and reposition. Going in for the shots. He might well be able to pick up a 1, but he's missing all of them. And unfortunately, 12 bullets was just not enough, Sam.
Oh, you hate it when those shots just don't quite manage to connect. And yeah, I mean, sAw, this is very typical for them. So I spoke a little bit about their potential CT side, but now that we are on the T side, in fact, I can just kind of remind everyone that sAw really do love these aggressive pushes through lobby or towards ramp. And that's, of course, how they started things out this time. They generally tend to ignore outside as much as possible. I'm going to send a little bit of util out that way, possibly throwing out a fake, but Entropiq, probably wise to these shenanigans.
Yeah, probably a little bit. They have got some weapons in their arsenal. It's going to be crowded with a double kill with the Mag-10 and also see there, but it's going to be a triple instead. Now it's going to be a massive disadvantage on the side of sAw. They started with a couple of weapons, but they're going to be losing them at Mutrus. The Smoke is going to be able to get a kill for himself, but the bomb is still a little bit of trouble. So Mutrus is going to have to try and make his way through. And yeah, I mean, you know what, Entropiq, they saw this coming, Sam, and they were like, yeah, we've got an answer for this. It's called a CZ.
Hey, you know what? If it works, it works. And of course, I mean, that's the power of the anti-strat. You watch those games, you're like, oh, they really like these aggressive rushes. Huh, how do we deal with that? Grab a scout, throw down some util, and the CZ, of course, and you just don't let anyone walk through any choke points at all. And I saw in a bit of a rough one here because, again, they've lost control of the bomb. And this is the second time that this has happened. Oh, and now they've lost yet another player. This is probably going to be another round in the bag. I say another. The first round in the bag for Entropiq.
Yeah. You know, if you're muted in this situation, you don't actually, in my opinion, go for that shot. You've got an AK. You don't want to be arming them with another gun. So trying to take those risky shots versus a scout is going to be fairly damning, as we saw.
Yeah, it doesn't really work out too well. And you kind of mentioned about how they would have wanted to maybe hold on to that AK, and we can see exactly why here. They won the first round, they lose the second, so no sort of bonuses for that one. There's no loss streak, they didn't win, so, you know, they get nothing. Very little to actually commit into this or to invest into it. Entropiq, on the other hand, are going to have a little bit of cash to play with here. You can actually see them sacrificing a little bit of firepower just to ensure that they've got every little bit of utility that they could possibly need. Because again, they're likely expecting that sAw are going to go for these crazy rushes. So make sure you have those mollies and those smokes available to you. And as soon as sAw try any of those crazy shenanigans, you have exactly what you need to kind of mow them down as they try to, you know, aggress their way in. But I'm curious to see if sAw are going to maybe swap things up here. They've tried the aggression strat twice, worked once, failed once. Let's see if they make any changes.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the aggressive strats. That's pretty much right out of the rulebook for them. Going into the third round, they lost the second after winning the first. They don't really have too much to play for into the fourth unless they win this round. So they really just have to play for everything. And through the smoke is going to be the answer here. But Mutrus is unfortunately going to be meeting head on with the scout. And this scout has been quite dominant so far in this, well, in the last game even. That tag is going to be damning. 14 HP left. Sadoro is going to be dropping down, and they're going to be going down the secret, but Sadoro is going to be a little bit too late, but the scout is just too distracted. You know what? That warehouse peek actually worked fantastically because it allowed them to go down through secret. Like, going to be on the back of sight, waiting for them to go through Econ. might have an opportunity in opening as he's going to be backing off a little bit distracted, but Nickelback's going to be there with an AK. Black is going to be on the map, but he doesn't need to take a single shot, but he's going to get shot by another player. Mutuous drop down onto him, big up the MP9, and Arky with the Deagle gets killed for himself. Now Forrester going to be coming through secret. Elan as well with the scout, looking to try and see if he can take another kill, but Krads, the guy we saw interviewed a couple of moments ago, now looking to do his best to help him retake this fight. First kill's going to be in the bag, picks up the Tech 9 as well for his trouble. Arky, although gets the trade over towards Forrester, leaving it in a 2 versus 3 situation. The advantage has to be in the side of Entropiq, but the bomb has gone down. It is ticking, but so are the kills. The Eagles have to hit here, but the player is going to get tagged down to 27 HP. Rad, realizing that this is a fruitless endeavor, is going to have to back away, but not before, you know, getting a kill for themselves. They want to make sure that they take out the D's before they can save any of this equipment.
I think I might be an oracle. I don't know. Talking about hoping that they're going to change things up, and immediately they full-on smoke outside despite having very, very limited util. They use it to just obscure as much sightline as possible, hightail their way down secret, get that bomb planted, and then just kind of pop off a little bit with the pistols. You love to see it, and they somehow secure that round for themselves. Entropiq probably seemed like they were expecting yet another rush, and now you can see they're kind of positioning themselves for another one of these potential secret shenanigans. Now they're taking far more map control, and this should stand them a little bit better as this round goes on. sAw not going for super aggression here, but instead playing a much slower default.
It's good to slow down, especially into this round where Entropiq a little bit lack of okay, we don't have too much to worry about. You can see the damage here, and just taking over Hut is really good initial start. I kind of half expected a Mac 10 to come out, not Mac 10, sorry, a Mac 7 to come out on this front and play potentially above Hut, but going to be the Famous on Forrester. He's tagged down to half HP. Be a little bit dangerous for him to do anything here. And just on last round, I will say, if it wasn't for well, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Mutuous who went through Warehouse and distracted the scout, took a hit down 14 HP. Without that, I honestly don't think they would have made it down as cleanly into secret. I think that scout would have done a lot more damage, but that distraction was just perfect. So really well done on that.
Oh, looks like they're gearing up to finally move in. Got some of that util coming out there. Mollies just to try and push people off. Flashes as well. Make sure that no one's holding up on catwalk. And now they can start making their way in towards secret. But on top of that, they've got Roman here. Oh, and I love this. He's just waiting for someone to peek out. He's giving the opportunity for that movement to come through and no lurks to come from the top.
Instead, is going to be able to get killed by Elan with the Deagle. Is going to be able to get one of his own, and they have decided to go down over towards the B site. Correct decision, because there was too much of a dominant force up on towards A. But Nickelback, he's going to be able to take down Mutuous, but that was a trade kill, so unfortunately not the best situation for them. But they have got 2 rifles in hands, but do they even go for this? Not realistically on this front. A lot of time has already gone down. Their utility is really limited. They've got 1 flash, and Roman, he's going hunting. He can smell blood, and he is going to go in for the frag. He's going to be able to get the kill onto Forrester of all ones with the AK. That's going to be really annoying. That AK is recovered. Don't even go for this frag. Just stay alive. With 23 HP, it's not worth it anymore. I can respect the shots, but Nickelback is not looking to lose that gun, and unfortunately, his bite is fairly damaged.
So I kind of, as the engagement was beginning, I was talking about it, but I love the way that sAw play that. I love seeing that they have changed up quite a bit from their previous kind of hyper aggression, where now they slow it down a little bit. They use some of that util towards the outside. And Entropiq, I mean, they had kind of moved out to take control, and when they realized that nothing was happening, they all start moving back into the building. And at that point, sAw just has full control of the outside area. So they play that well, they slow it down, and they kind of knock Entropiq off guard.
Yeah, I think that change of pace is really thrown off Entropiq. But you know what? We're only 4 rounds in, going into the 5th round now, so I think it's a little bit too early to judge when Nickelback's going to be able to take down Mutuous. That's a weapon potentially recoverable here. It is in a fairly difficult position, and him backing out of that over towards Hell is the best thing he could do within that moment. Couldn't play over-aggressive and overextend there. The rest of the players just going to be on pistols, so the fact that they've managed to get 1 kill is great. Ideally, you want to make sure they don't get anything else here. It's going to be spotted out, tagged some damage as well, and Roman once again doing your favorite thing, making his way up and doing what he can to potentially get another frag and clean out a site. And I think this should be a bit of a mixed decision. We've got 50 seconds left on the clock, so still plenty of time for Team sAw to decide on what they want to be able to do. And, well, Molotov is going to be going down. Roman chucks down the Molotov and the Flash, trying to cause a little bit of distraction over towards the A site. He's going to take a little bit too much damage, down to 70 HP. It drops down towards Hell. And this is a really slow game, and I think it's just throwing Entropiq off completely from what they expected to be facing going into this. It's going to be the first kill. Arky is going to get one, so says Ado. Like, Arky and Nickelback are going to be going down, so the M4 is lost. It doesn't stop Forrester from getting one. Tried to get a second, but couldn't quite do it, as Roman's going to be coming through for the kill, and Krad's going to be left in a really difficult situation, but he's going to be able to pick up one kill, potentially recovering a rifle he has. AK in hand. He over peaks, and he's going to get taken down by Rome. That is not what you want to be seeing going into the 5th round. But you know what? They had pistols and one rifle, so completely forgivable for the side of Entropiq. But now is the time for them to be able to bring it back. We have seen sAw struggle after this point on the T side before. I'm interested to see if Entropiq are going to be able to really bring in the choker. They've got full setup now, the full buy, got the M4s, the AWP. A little bit lacking on utility on one of the players, but otherwise, there should be enough of a hold for these players. Heavy peek over towards ramp is going to be coming through. Unfortunately, sits in the fire, and he's going to be in that hot seat for a little bit too long. The push over towards A is going to be coming through ramp. It's going to be Forrester getting taken down. Crowd's going to be left to try and solve this out. The bomb's going to get dropped. He now has this build. He's going to go for one, goes for two. Trey comes out, but Rome heals far too late. Left in a 1v2. AWP up towards heaven, drops down. Position is known. The flick comes through. The kill as well, and around for Entropiq. But at what cost? Look at that economy. 4K, 3K, 3K, and let's have a quick. Oh, not quite sure. There we go. This is the replay we want to see. Krad, absolute god. We saw him interviewed earlier, and that was game changing. Without that 3K, I honestly it would have gone the other way as far as I'm concerned on that situation. The opener onto Forrester really changed the dynamic of that site. Now going into the 7th round. That's a quick round actually, with all things considered. I think it only lasts like 20-30 seconds. We do have a couple of low buys inside of CTs, and we have got a pause coming out. sAw potentially trying to decide, do we force for this? Do we just buy Mactans, Galil's, AKs, and some restricted utility? And I think that's a yes. It was exactly what they're going to be doing. And you know what, Arky, that Eagle, is a formidable foe, so I can't really blame them for doing exactly that when it comes down to it. Push potentially towards outside. A little bit of a dangerous game to play when you're going up against an AWP, but execution is going to be coming out with the smokes. But so is the Molly, and Roman is going to have to sit in the hot seat once again, and he's going to make it all the way through to the other side towards the secret. And he's going to be making that first initial push, but he's going to be going up against, although Nickelback is actually upper. He's going to be going up against Elon, who's dropped down with AWP, sitting in around the corner at the moment, waiting for someone to make a peek. Roman trying to see if someone's going to be coming through. If they go for this peek with no... Oh, you can see the side of him. If there's no flashes, you're going to regret this, but it's going to be the upper peek. It doesn't matter. The flick comes through. The kill as well. Flash is going to be coming through. Krad, once again, going to be able to pick up one, not two or three, because Elan picks up a collapse with the AWP. Nickelback with one, and Arky goes down, and that is round. Done and dusted. Entropiq, what is this? Coming through into the real meat and bones of the match. The solid gameplay, cannot deny that. And this is the kind of gameplay and reasoning as to why they were able to beat teams like D2 and Fnatic. Nice, simple pistol buy on the side of sAw. You can see that they haven't actually bought a single thing. Not even a decoy, guys. Saving all that money. They've only got Glocks, so they could do a little bit of a cricket march if they want to. Just holding down that right button, letting the foes know where they are, and I do invoke some fear in them. Many kills do go out on the side of so I'd be a little bit surprised on this front, but we'll have to wait and see. But you know, welcome back, Sam.
Hey there. I'm alive, it seems. It seems that sAw are alive as well, doing a lot better than maybe I'd anticipated coming into this, and particularly given that this is their T half. And okay, it is a little unfortunate that now they're down back onto pistols, so I doubt they'll be able to make it through on this one, but with a little bit of a resurgence, we might actually see them with quite a strong start.
Yeah, decent start for both of these sides. I'd overall say a little bit of an even ground. Not really sure if they could really achieve too much in this round from the side of sAw, to be honest. If they get a single kill, mate, I'm gonna be highly surprised. But never say never. It's going to be shooting season for Ian. He's playing that duck game from years past, trying to get some kills here. Picks up one, but probably going to be all she wrote on that front. It's going to be just, I don't know, left, and no more kills for the poor Orpa.
We've actually seen sAw try that exact same strategy before, where they kind of make a little bit of noise in the outside and then try and kind of snake back through towards the A site. And we've seen them do quite well on it, seen them kind of overrun the whichever T side that they were playing against. I can't remember who it was exactly. It may have been Finest, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But Entropiq, unfortunately, just not gonna fall for it. They do really well, and I mean, it was to be expected, all things considered. And this is where sAw kind of have a chance to come back into this. Okay, they've only got the 4 rifles and then the 4 AKs and the 1 Galil, but there's still quite a lot of firepower behind it. The big issue here is the total lack of utility. They have just thrown out what little they had, and now all they have left is flashes.
Yeah, first kill is going to be coming out as well. Mitras, that's a heavy hitting kill. To be able to take a player out like him, and Sado is going to be above Hut at the moment. Well, not Hut, sorry, a main. Nickelback's going to be peeking out. He's going to be completely exposed, but no! It's completely unnoticed, and now he's going to be in a fantastic position to be able to take them out. He still has an opportunity to get seen at the moment. He is in a dangerous position. Roman's going to be peeking around the corner. Headshot comes out. Now we take a little bit of a chill again as they reposition. They've got the frag. All that was an equalizer. Still have advantage in regards to manpower if they decide to go up against one site, but they are spread out heavily. Arky's going to be peeking around the corner, takes down one, but before getting a headshot against him, Arky have to be a little bit careful. So is Roman. He goes up, does the same trick, not going to work a third time. Elan's down below towards Secret. He's got an AWP. He's going to really have to go full Kenny S here. Simple if you want more up-to-date reference, but Forrester, he's going to be left to try and hold this A site by himself. As they push out, he's going to be able to pick up one. Elan with one for himself as well, and now trying to back off from this situation is going to be Forrester, backed up by Krad, who's been the MVP of the game so far. Trade comes in perfectly, 1 versus 2, AWP and AK, standing up against Arky, and there's potential of winning, and unfortunately, he shows his back, and that's all that's needed.
Oh, Elian in a really dirty spot there down Secret. I mean, that wasn't even the first kill he got there either. I think that might have been the second or third of the round. So just getting unprecedented value there. I'd say that I'm really happy to see that sAw have been kind of changing things up a little bit. They're not going for the same thing that they were always doing previously, which was those hyper-aggressive rushes. They're playing a lot more dynamically. But I feel like maybe they just haven't had enough time to fully flesh it out. Entropiq seem to have the full run of this map right now. They're just not allowing any sort of entryway in here. So trying that aggression again, and Justice going to get a little bit too burnt up there.
Seems like Fire seems to be one of SAW's biggest enemies right now. They've lost probably over the last, over maybe like 3 or 4 rounds. They've lost maybe like 250, 300. Yeah, that's true. Less than, yeah, let's not even talk about that situation, but pistols and a scout Arky. I want you to be seeing some, like, doing some good work with this. We saw Elon do absolutely fantastic work with it. Nothing so far. He managed to get tagged for us, so though gets the first kill of the round. Second one as well. Going to be picking up 2, even a third for his troubles. Roman's going to be peeking around the corner with the deagle in hand, but it's going to be vice versa. The shot's coming through. Damage as well, down to 10 HP, but couldn't quite get the kill, and that's going to be the bomb dropped. Reload of that AK, please, at some point, do it. But scout towards warehouse. Let's see if he can get any kind of kills, and he might actually be able to spot out this WP play. He gets the tag in for the peak, but unfortunately, he didn't hit the head. So unfortunately, you're going to hit the floor. Namush is going to be the last one left alive. He is a little bit of a dangerous player, but in a 1v5 with no rifles, he has got a scout on his back. It's going to be fairly difficult for him to do anything, especially when he spots out like that. And Lackey is finally going to be able to get a kill on the board. And though he was 007, he's now 107.
It's what we in the biz call NT. Given that this was basically a full-on pistol, it was just a bunch of deagles, and then the scout, weren't really expecting terribly much. And okay, yes, those guns can actually come up massively if you position yourself adequately, if you've got a little bit of utility to kind of back it up as well. But unfortunately, things just don't go their way. And as much as I was kind of praising how they had seemingly a pretty good start to this map, Entropiq seems to be finding their feet. And we actually saw this in groups as well. There are a couple of maps where Entropiq will lose the pistol, they'll lose a few rounds, and things will look a little bit dire, and then they'll start to bring it back a little bit, and they'll start to kind of get back into their form, get back into their rhythm, and suddenly everything is just coming up Entropiq. And I mean, Crad performing so well here. I mean, he kind of has to. Lack's having a bit of a quiet game. Lackey. And Lackey had some really good games in groups. So this is clearly one of those kind of anomalous games. And thankfully, Crad and Alien are just outperforming themselves.
Oh, right into the frying pan there. Mutra's going to be able to get the first kill. Lackey managed to get his first kill on the last round. Felt a little bit confident. Unfortunately, he is going to get shut down instantaneously. And just in towards Hut is finally going to be able to take down that problem player, Forrester, who's really been forcing them down onto their knees. And Mutra's once again, Crad. These are star players who are just getting taken down. But Ilion, he's been an absolute god for that AWP. He's still alive. Org on Nickelback as well. He's been another fantastic player for them. But it's going to be a 2 versus 5 situation. Bomb is going to be going down. Nickelback can only do so much. He can't peek out through that smoke. That would just be a bit of a suicidal move, so he has to back off. Ilion outside. 2 orcs right next to each other. He's just going to be trying to find any kill he can. He bags away, and honestly, that's probably the best move for him. But unfortunately, going to re-peek. His spot is known, and he's going to lose his head. Unfortunately, a nice, clean shot. On player left, it's going to be Nickelback and Sam. I don't think he's long for this world. He could probably take down Arky, but... Oh, actually, he's flying out stealth, so... Never mind. Couldn't quite do it with that Org. AK versus Org, you know. There's always going to be one that's going to win.
Would have been nice to have made that a little bit more expensive, especially considering that sAw had been looking a little broken coming into that. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Now, however, Entropiq, oh well, Lackey buying into that AWP, and we saw him kind of playing into that, kind of alternates between Alien and Lackey in some games. Well, in this one, they're going to come out with the double trouble, try and shut down every point of ingress here, with sAw kind of falling back to that slower default, mixing and matching a little bit, not running the same thing more often than what they can get away with, I suppose. So we're going for a little bit more of that outside control with a little bit of a lean towards lobby. We'll see where they... Looks like they're opting to move through secret.
That was actually a really nice shot through the smoke from Nickelback, if I'm right in saying. He just went for the spray and managed to take down a Roman to 43 HP, which is always good to see. Obviously, the 2 AWPs on this site, on this side of Entropiq, is going to be pretty good, but you know what? Unfortunately for them, Lackey's going to be lacking any opponents to shoot, but you know on who isn't? Nickelback isn't. He takes a lot of damage onto Roman and Mutris, but unfortunately is going to fall down. I'll leave a big disadvantage on that side. Arky's looking to try and open up the A site for his team over towards Squeaky. Alien's going to be facing a bit of a trouble down over towards B. Open up double doors to try and allow ultimate freedom of movement if he needs it. I think A site should really be the hit here for these players. Potentially down towards B if they can find a couple of these kills. Alien's going to get spotted. He does take a shot. Hits nothing though, Sam. Flash is going to be working fantastic, but the more utility that is used, the harder it's going to get for this team of sAw to be able to make an execution in towards A site or B. But I don't know if they're going to need that. Mutra's going to be going up. Arky as well. First kill is going to be found. Paddy's going to be able to get Roman rather, and now they're going to be pushing through. Forrester's going to be able to get 2 for his trouble, but not before he's found by Arky. Finally, but not before they lose 3 players. That is a huge loss, but now going to be a 2 versus 2 situation. 2 AWPs, actually. So, you know, Lackey, let's see what you're going to be made of. Maybe he'll pick up an AK for his trouble at the entrance of A main. I think there's one there, or in an M4. I don't know. Still alive as well. Arky, do not leave on this one. This would be a bad opportunity. So I don't know, he's going to miss the shot. Luckily, he's going to be backed up by Arky, who goes in for a spray. Goes onto Alien and transfers over towards Lackey. Fantastic rounds. A little bit dicey though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, so I actually love the way that Entropiq start that. So they have Lackey up towards ramp. They have Ethan down, or Alien, sorry, down towards Squeaky, and so they're towards secret. So they're kind of trying to force sAw to have to go for that lobby play, but sAw are doing that anyway, and they immediately get an opening pick, which means that they're able to take control of the A site. Now Entropiq have to adjust. And they struggle so much because they have the 2 AWPs. And how do you make that work? Eventually, the 2 AWPs wind up together in secrets. And it's so hard to pivot off of that. So sAw play that really well.
Just going to be playing over towards Hart fantastically well. Forrester has really been a thorn in the side of sAw whenever they've been pushing over towards baseline. Like they've continually tried to go over that, and he just shut them down in multiple rounds. But seems like the last couple of rounds, they've actually found a little bit of solution to him on either not going through Hut or 2, being able to find the frag on him. And it's really ideally what they want to be able to do. But it's a little bit of a dangerous round for Entropiq if they do lose this. So they can't really afford to lose this without doing a decent amount of damage towards sAw's side.
At least they have managed to take down one of Entropiq's players, pulled out a little bit. And this tends to be pretty dangerous. Sometimes, we talk about those mid-round stabilizing and how difficult that is for a lot of teams. sAw, they don't really need to stabilize. They just kind of need to decide. I suppose they're trying to pull out some rotation, some of their util here. It's getting tight.
Yeah, there's a lot of information being gathered here by the T side. They can work out that there's a couple of players over towards the A side, but honestly, it's going to be super hard for them to decide where exactly to go to minimize losses. And unfortunately, they have decided to go over towards ramp, and that would have been the best decision. As Brad is going to be completely flashed, though. They're going to be able to take him out. Absolutely brilliant, but Alien's going to be able to get trade onto them, and now they're going to be walking into us crosshairs 1, 2, maybe even 3. No, they drop down. They're like, haha, Trickster, we're actually going to be going down here, and that's going to be a decent option for them. Lackey's going to be following them down. It is a crucial point of the game for him to be able to try and take the advantage on his side. Nicholas back is going to be able to find one, but the trade's instantaneously going to be getting found. Lackey made his presence known. He's going to be pushing with the smoke. He has a disadvantage, but he gets the kill anyway. Now Arky, last player left alive, knows exactly where these two players are. He's going to peek around the corner. He gets one, going in for the second one. Well, it's going to be his Lackey versus his play. He can't do it. And just to add insult to injury, it was a headshot, no less.
Oh, and the thing is, so I talk a little bit about, the mid-round stabilization or the mid to late round and how well you play that. And to be honest, sAw, they very nearly dropped the ball there. That was terrifying to witness. They lose their first couple of players as they start moving into site. Suddenly they're at a and they have to control, and Entropiq just keep whittling them away. For Arky to win out that 1v2, I mean, that was pure heroic.
Yeah, and he is a fantastic player, and I don't think we highlight him enough, to be honest. He is definitely one of the best players on their side. I also want to mention Lackey. He may well only have 2 kills, but 2 of those kills have been actually highly valuable for his side. So it's interesting to see how he's going, and hopefully going to be able to continue to improve throughout this game, and maybe a little bit of a star on the side of the T side, where he's going to need to be, because currently they're I've only got 6 rounds on the CT side. 7 rounds for sAw on the T side is absolutely fantastic for them. Entropiq, they looked so convincing on a lot of the rounds, but seem to have just dropped off across the last 3 rounds, where sAw kind of found the answer to those problems. But talking of problems, Zealand's going to be able to take down Sadado. No more orb on their side. And has the P250. Looking to find some domes to hit with that. They're going to be peeking around the corner, and Roman's in the perfect opportunity for him to get found, but no, instead, Roman managed to just find that kill. Boy, he took too much damage just as well to Elion, and this round's pretty much done and dusted. Going to be lacking for us. I don't really think there's going to be too much they can do here, but as we go into the next round, to be honest, is there anything you kind of expect from Entropiq to change?
I'm not too sure. I mean, a lot of what they've been doing has actually been working. That's the really surprising part. They've tended to do quite well trying to adapt to sAw, but sometimes it happens too late. sAw will do something this round, then Entropiq will try to adjust to it in the next round, and surprise, sAw is doing something entirely different, and whatever Entropiq kind of planned for hasn't really worked out. And again, I think that the heroics from sAw have really made a huge difference here. So in terms of strategizing, I feel like Entropiq aren't doing too badly, and now it's coming down to a lot of those gun battles, and so I'm kind of hoping maybe they hold on to a little bit more of that utility towards the end of the round, so that if you need to isolate those duels, you're slightly more equipped to do so, right? You don't really want to be taking 1v2s with nothing to hide behind, not a smoke, not a piece of environment, nothing. So hopefully they can start to isolate that a little bit better, because when you're losing the gun rounds, isolation is your friend.
Well, let's see what they're going to be able to do going into this round. Ideally, into this last round and a half, you want to see Entropiq take this win. Arky is going to have some shots towards him, but it doesn't flinch. Take some donors, and now he's going to be having to back off. Lackey's going to be in a whole heap of trouble here, take some shots, but he's going to back off down towards the B. Slight Nickelback, looking to go and support him, but the Molotov's out there. Fantastic utility usage from the side of sAw, trying to close down that ramp position. Another position that route they've not actually taken too often, so it's really caught them off guard on the CT side completely. Now they just have a lot of free real estate on their side to do with what they want, but Craddy's going to find the answer, takes down one. Lackey with another onto Arky, 2-star player is going to be falling, but Sadaro's going to get a nice trade, but Ilion's there to try and answer them with the AWP. Bomb's going to be dropped, so is another player. Justin's going to be going down, and that's going to be half. Entropiq pick up 7 rounds, sAw with 8, and let's hop over towards a quick break, and we'll be back with the second half in a moment. Well, we're going to be going into the next round now, and it's going to be Roman with the first kill. Forrest is going to be falling down, and so is Lackey. These shots are going to be on a point over towards the ramp, and also Huts. It's actually going to be radio room. Elion's going to be trying to find the answer here for his team. Nickelback, though, is going to be able to find a kill onto one of the CT players. He's over towards actual CT spawn, going in towards warehouse. Arky has managed to take a decent position here for himself. Mutrus seeing what he can do on the A side. Just calm down here, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of surprising because sAw just kind of run it down for the start of their CT. They just run straight into Entropiq. And they went out on a lot of those battles, so that helps out quite a bit. And now Entropiq kind of stalled out a little bit, need to figure out what their next move is going to be. They know they're at a slight disadvantage here. As they make their way down towards the B site, it's definitely doable, but need to be careful of Arky, because Arky, I mean, he's got a suspicion, right? I mean, you can see him bouncing back and forth. He's got an idea that they might just move this way. I need to see, maybe they can ships in the night get past him.
Oh, well, the first shot's going to be coming through. He doesn't manage to hit pretty much any of them. It's going to be Nickelback pushing down, catches them off guard, gets the kill, peeks over towards Vents. Going to be able to do a little bit of damage, catches them as they jump through, finds one, maybe even a second one. No, the trade's going to be coming through, but Ilion's going to be jumping through, gets double kill. And that is a shutdown if I've ever seen one. Entropiq, fantastic first round on the T side.
I like how they do that. So I was talking about how Arky was kind of waiting to see if he spots anyone, and as he kind of moves over towards the left, I'm wondering if the Entropiq player is going to cross over. Now one does manage to cross over, but Arky spots out one. As soon as he fires those first couple of shots, the information gets fed back, he turns around, and he just runs into yet another Entropiq player. So they coordinate that really, really well, and that affords them some serious firepower in the second round.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of AKs, Galil, 2 Mac 10s, easy peasy for them to be able to get a couple of kills. But you know what? They weren't able to convert that damage into a kill over towards ramp, but they managed to get a position, which is always important. Lucky did lose most of his HP. Going to be down heavily on that, so sAw is going to be in a difficult position. Trying to bait them out with sound cues here. Open up the double doors. Try and pull them through. Mutrus, meanwhile, over towards Secret. Not going to see anyone. sAw, I think it's probably going to be the first one to potentially go down here, or at least find a kill. Which if you can find 2, that might open things up completely. But trying to go for a retake here on the CTs, running guns, is going to be super hard. Execution coming through. Off is going to get smoked off. Second one going up towards double doors. Flash out one towards site. They're going to be going through the left-hand side, avoiding sAw's aim and peek. And he's just waiting for someone else. And now he's going to have to turn around. Takes a shot, misses it. And unfortunately, Ilion has the answer here, and now the CTs have to decide on what they want to do. Is it worth retaking this, or just saving for the following round? Seeing if they can get a comeback onto the third round of the second half.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I mean, it looks like you just kind of hold on to what you have at this point. Don't try to push out unnecessarily. And it's great for Entropiq to be able to survive this round with all of their players intact as well. I'm sure they'd like to also just kind of take out a couple more of sAw on the way out if they can. But this has basically gone as expected, given that Entropiq did win that first round. So as we move on to the next now, sAw's going to have 2 lost rounds behind them. So they're going to have a little bit of that cash they can use. And obviously they only bought up a little bit here. So Just, for example, is likely going to be able to get something, you know, just something to pack a punch into that, hopefully. Oh. Yeah, maybe better to just hold on to what you have, I suppose, at this point. Try and get through to the next round. It's so much tougher to make something happen on the CT side, especially if you start off losing out round after round. And Entropiq, yeah, I mean, they're going to take full advantage of that. So much utility in the belt. So little to worry about.
Let's see what Entropiq are going to be able to do with this one. Bomb is just you know, left it in at the moment in towards ready room. They've not decided if they're going to do anything. Still very much at the farther around here. Going in for the sprays. They're trying to find absolutely anything they can do. Mutrus tagged down a little bit. They decided to back off and not go in for a full aggressive play, and I think that's honestly one of the smart moves they could do here versus these pistols, especially that 5.7 up close is not exactly what you'd be fighting with. Making full use out of being able to drop grenades. Really appreciated that change in the way the game is played. Forrester finds one through the smoke. Not before we've seen him as it pops and blooms. Molotov's going to be going out, I'd imagine, from outside there. In towards the A site. Roman waiting for them to go in for the bush. He's got the MP9. Absolutely fantastic for this close proximity. But Forrester's waiting for the peek, and he's going to be able to find the shots, but not in time. As Roman's going to be able to get one. Peeks around the corner. Does a lot of damage. Might be able to find a second. He does, but the trade's going to be coming in. Crade's going to get taken down. And now Just is going to be able to find a kill. What's going on? He picks up an AK for his trouble. Smokes out of position as well, but it's a little bit useless. And unfortunately, oh no, he gets the kill. Alien goes down, and now Lackey go from 0 to hero, finds one. Sado is going to get taken down, but he's going to be going up against an AEK and a scout potentially that is going to be upgraded here. No, just going to be picking up the scout instead, so switching over. Bomb is picked up, and now the rush back down towards ramp. It's going to be bait. He's like, nah, guys, that's not how we do things here. These guys are going to be passing each other. No indication as to where either one of these players is. Arky. Here's the footsteps. Not quite sure where it is, so he is going to slow it down, wait for his teammate. He doesn't. He's going to get taken down. Lucky. He went 007 on that first half, and he's bringing this back in clutch on Entropiq's potential win round here. And the MAC-10 just needed to hit him with a paintbrush there to kill him, and Just is going to fall down. That's going to be another round on the board for Entropiq.
And in a round where it was really touch and go, and it shouldn't have been. Like, sAw do really well there to maintain control for so long to try and keep themselves alive. And as you say, a sliver of HP towards the end, it's fairly easy at that point for Lackey to clean up. But sAw try to at least make it a little bit expensive. It's not really that much of an issue.
Oh, Spray's going to be coming through. Forrester going to be able to get a couple of kills. There's going to be the M4s on the side of sAw trying to make quick work of these teams, but it's not going to happen. Never mind, Mutrus through the smoke. It's just like, yeah, cool. Wall bang as well. Why not? I'm going to be able to go for this from a main and just take the shots through. That's going to be fantastic. And again, they're going to be doing a nice execution in towards the A side, but it's going to be down to Elon in a 1v2. It doesn't happen, Arky. Hits those shots, and it's going to be another round on the board for sAw. The first on this half, actually, so keep that in mind. Gun recovery, utility recovery, this is badly needed. If you ever look at the economy here, Sam, on their side, it's 1200, 350, 600, 350, and that's before the round's over, obviously, but keep in mind, it now goes up, and not by much. We have to do a full rebuy with 3 other players.
That's not ideal. They should be able to more or less buy into this. Few things that they'll need to give up along the way, unfortunately, but all things considered, they're at least still in this. And the fact that they won that round is massive. I mean, they are going toe-to-toe here. They're keeping this incredibly competitive. I'm really impressed to see that they're doing this well. And I also like that the pacing has been changed up quite a lot from Entropiq as well. You know, they haven't kind of been sticking to one thing. Oh, but Alien, how do you get that opening kill from Narnia?
Well, that's exactly what you're going to have to do when you're that AWP player trying to find these frags and hopefully potentially going to get boosted up and over here. Sado is going to be outside trying to hold this by himself. Bit of a lone soldier. No real backup is going to be there to answer his problems. Forrester towards Hut. He may well have been holding it as a CT, but he's looking to take it over as a T. That's going to be Sado with a kill of his own on towards Brad. A great player, but Nickelback as his back takes him down, and that is going to be... That's going to be brutal. That is one of the key players and holders here. Arky down towards Hell, towards Ramp. That's going to be Roman with a kill on towards Lackey from outside up towards Heaven. That gives out a lot of information, but just comes down the corner, upgrades his MP9. Okay, this is different. Game is on. 2 players left. He's have a bit of a difficult issue, but Elion's here saying, I've got the answer for this. It's an AWP. It's a skeleton key for all problems. That's going to be opening up the game once again for them, but they're still in a 2 versus 2. And Just actually has the opportunity to shut this down. I don't know if he spotted the bomb there. If he has, that would be brilliant. He gets the headshot to Ilya from outside. On top of Silo, and now Nickelback is going to have to try and go out for the peak once again, and they know exactly where the bomb is. All they have to do is play smart. Don't go over aggressive. 20 seconds left, and Just from the T side is going to be able to get another kill. And Sam, that is a really good play from sAw. I didn't think they were going to be able to bring that back.
Yeah, I mean, this is another round where sAw do so much better than expected. We saw it on what was, they had a little bit of like a weird half, sort of, it wasn't even a half buy, it was just kind of really janky. And they still do incredibly well to take Entropiq down to one player. Now in a round where they probably shouldn't have done really reasonably well either, they managed to swing it back in their favor. They've actually improved so much since the group stages, and it's been a joy to watch here in Entropiq. We kind of spoke a little bit about the question mark, after their loss to Ecstatic recently, despite a killer run. Suddenly they're starting to look a little shaky.
Yeah, and Roman, he's going to tag down to 57 HP. He's losing 43 HP isn't the end of the world. He's definitely not going to be wanting to lose any more. And the outside push is going to be coming through. Ilion with the tag with the scout. He may not have his ult, but he's still going to be able to land some damage. But the flash is going to be working fantastic. Lackey goes down. So does another Nickelback. Falling, so is Forrester. 2 players left. Entropiq not going to be able to do too much with this one, as they're going to have to try and convert a scout player into a 1v5. And I just don't really see this happening from him. He may well be a fantastic player, but unfortunately for him, Roman has the answer, and it's not going to be Roman that fools the day. It is going to be the Entropiq side as we go through to the next round, which will be 22 rounds. Still got a few to go. sAw managed to, build up a bit of a buffer on the T side. They started to lose that as they went through into the second half, but no, they're looking good now.
Yeah, starting to build themselves back into this. I mean, we kind of spoke a little bit about how this map tends to be somewhat CT-sided, and sAw really trying to leverage that as much as possible. They had a very good T side, and they're looking to kind of ride that wave all the way to, hopefully, a map win.
Hopefully so. Roman starting to this round. It's only pistols. T250 is a couple of Deagle, well, a Deagle rather, and a Glock, but still have to be a little bit concerned with these. As you can see, a lot of damage can happen out for those Deagles, and, well, if they can actually hit those headshots or a couple of body shots, they can get those kills and convert it over. Maybe they might well just be able to do that, but honestly, if they can get a single kill here, it'd be brilliant. But that Deagle player's already been tagged down, so as we go through into the next round, if you have a look at their economy here, I mean, they're going to be able to do a full buy next round. Potentially even buy an AWP on one of the players if they decide to go a little bit glass cannon. Which, they could definitely buy an armor on one of the players if they drop it on over. And so I think that's probably going to be the play, and try to really focus on maybe even going down ramp, which they've not really had any real success with yet. T250 deal. This is going to be a nice boost, but they have, unfortunately, they messed up that boost. They got spotted out fairly easily. Another 2 players have been spotted. BTs still playing a little bit passive, but never mind. Mutual's going to get taken down, and that's going to be Roman with 1, but the trade comes through, and this is actually fantastic. This is all you could really ask for from the side of Entropiq. If you could get the win, that'd be absolutely amazing, but to be able to get a couple of kills, that's really going to be putting the pressure onto the economy of sAw, even if those 2 players do have nearly 10k each.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, pressure! Maybe the tiniest prick, little poke, just to remind them that Entropiq are still, in fact, in this game. And, well, things have been looking a little rough here. They're still able to get a buyout here, but, if they lose another round, okay, I mean, they're still on full loss streak, so they should still be able to squeeze something out in the next round, but they're running out of rounds to make that happen, and they need to kind of mount a serious comeback here. sAw doing really well to control the space. They've somewhat left outside unguarded. They're allowing a lot of space here for Entropiq. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we've got Mutuals kind of moving in to cover those angles. Now Entropiq feeling a little surrounded, but Nickelback winning that is huge.
Really good opening kill here for that side. Mutuals going down. It's going to be really putting the odds in the favor of Entropiq. They're going to be passing through over towards Secret, down and under. Looking to take over towards the B site, and they have full advantage on this. Brad, Nickelback looking to open up towards window. He's going to be there. He misses his shot. That's not like him. Roman, though, he's going to be an opportunity to be able to make this trade back, but he's going to be peeking a little bit too early. He sees the bomb. He's going to be able to take 1, but Nickelback takes him down. Headshot coming through. Lackey cleaning out the site, making sure no one's sitting behind the solo, and now it's going to be Justice to try and pick this up. Just going to be able to pick up 1, but trade onto his teammate is going to be coming through, and that's round.
Well, that's a good comeback. It's exactly what they needed. I will say that, like, Nickelback he's not as explosive as what Alien has been. I mean, if you just look at it just in terms of raw number of kills, but when he does show up in a round, he tends to show up quite big, and he tends to get these really, really high impact kills. So even if he only gets maybe 1 kill in the round, it's usually a kill that swings things in their favor. And that's what makes him such a high impact player for this Entropiq squad. It's what he's done in this round. He gets a few of those key kills, and now Just is the last one alive to hold on to his weapon. Can't really do much more than that. Can he do that though? Oh, okay, there we go, there you go. You take away another one of those guns from Entropiq, and you talk about making it expensive, putting a little bit of pressure. That's what saw's done here. Yeah, okay, they're starting to feel the burn a little bit after losing that round. They would have wanted to maybe come out on top and keep that streak going, but they put a little bit more of that pressure onto Entropiq's side. And despite Entropiq still being able to buy into it, their economy is starting to shake a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, but both sides have really weak economy, so this is really sort of make or break on this front. Just may well have 2.4k, but I mean, honestly, it's not really going to be doing too much on the side of CT. You really have to try and have a little bit more cash in at the bank, and we're currently 12-11 scoreline. And for those of you that don't know, this is saw's map pick. It started out on the CT slide and absolutely smashed it, to be honest, with all things considered, but we're going to be seeing a push over towards a ramp area, and I think they might be able to take this over. Arky is going to be dropping a grenade down to, you know, a little bit of a surprise for anyone who follows him. Smashes some glasses on his way past, so he can do his best on those rotations, but no initial kills. It's playing a little bit defensive here, so giving up some ground, allowing Entropiq to take over this position is honestly a lot better than losing those players. You may well be able to get a kill or so, but losing that sort of equal sort of man advantage is going to be absolutely brutal, and the slowdown play is kind of out of the rulebook of sAw, to be honest, and that is exactly how it's going to be used. But Arky finds one, and it's going to be a trade back, forth, and back. And we're missing all the kills here, but it's going to be down to a 3 versus 3 somehow. We saw absolutely none of those, and it's going to be Lackey pushes in, but he's going to get found by Just, the position now known on his one, but Roman is going to be on site. Going to be Alien left in a 1v3. He's got some kills in the back, 27-13 in regards to his KD, but this might be asking a little bit too much. They should have a decent idea of where he is, and unfortunately Entropiq, with that slowdown, Sam, I think that really cost them the round. They had to play a little bit more explosive.
This is the thing. It's an issue that I've had with so many teams recently, just across scenes and across games even. Just teams that you get to the mid-round, maybe you've lost a player, maybe you haven't, maybe you've just tried to play things a little bit slower after getting an opening kill, whatever the case may be. You get to that mid to late round, and you kind of fumble the ball a little bit. You kind of struggle to stabilize. You are attempting to knock your opponent off their balance and then try to take advantage of that. But more often than not, it tends to backfire. And that was a round that they really didn't want to backfire. I spoke about how at the start of that round, Entropiq's economy was starting to look a little dicey. Well, now it's pretty much in the drink. And they're in a really, really tough position here. This is basically a must-win round. sAw on 13 points here with still a little bit of cash in the bank to tide them over. Entropiq just cannot afford to lose this round.
No, I mean, it's pretty much going to be make or break on this front. sAw could easily run away with this if they're not careful. They kind of already have, but Forrester can get found, and unfortunately that is going to be a huge amount of information, a lot of damage going outside as well. Nickelback's going to get tagged down by a grenade to 58 HP. This just makes it so much easier for those M4 plays to be of advantage. You know, to get those one taps on their heads, and 40 players down over towards Secret. There's a grenade with their name on it. Roman, he's waiting for any kind of indication that they're here. It's now going to be coming through. 3, 2, 1. That nade should be going out. Now it is out, and maybe he's going to be able to do a decent, and that's going to be a chunk of damage across 2 different players, and the third one in tow. Now he's switching up position, not allowing his position to continually be known by these, really making them question everything. Another nade as well, and that one doesn't actually quite hit. A good utility usage by this team. Slow down, and this is really an Entropiq. They've got 30 seconds to try and bring this through, and this is a super crucial round, and Arky, he's in a fantastic position to try and help this out. He's going to get taken out, but not before Roman's going to be able to find one standard over towards Lackey as well. The door is going to be open, unfortunately. Down to Ilya to try and bring this back in a 1v4. He's found himself in another familiar situation. He's going to try to back off, but honestly, as soon as he peeks around this corner, his head is going to get found by Nuterus, and 1, 2, 3. Never mind, it's going to be the other way around, and He still doesn't have the bomb that is going to be out towards their decon, so even trying to recover that is going to be super difficult. So just staying alive, even in this kind of situation, which you got to be thinking, like, how has this happened?
I'm just really impressed with sAw. You know, I think we've kind of touched on this a couple of times, but I think the fact that they made that first half so competitive has really, really afforded them so much room to breathe into the second half. Because things, if they had a rough first half, this would be looking scary. And for them to be so close, I mean, we're 1 round away from match point. Their economy, okay, they have had to buy down quite a bit, so they realistically need to come out on top of this one, but Entropiq's economy is busted. If Entropiq win this round, it will be unthinkable and ridiculous, but it would be amazing.
It's gonna be Muse just getting taken down. Alien doing a fantastic job of opening it up. The boost over towards Crate was fantastic on their side, and now they have the player. Wow, how has he managed to find himself so quickly under heaven? This could actually easily go on the side of Entropiq, because they've got players everywhere currently, sort of taking up over the whole map. One player down towards B, he's going to be able to cause a fantastic distraction. They got man advantage if they decide to go and encroach onto one site. Honestly, oh no, Nickelback, he's found his way up behind the AWP player. I'm not sure if he was spotted there or not. I don't think he was. He should have known that the AWP is right there. He's going to be taken in the peak, but unfortunately the information wasn't there for Forrester. Either the information was lacking, or he just didn't actually spot him, which is going to be costing them the potential round. He's going to be going in for the push with the Tech 9. Flash is going to be coming through, and now he can't peek. They've lost this potential grasp, and unfortunately, Nickelback has to win this in a 1v3 with the Tech 9 versus an AWP. I just don't see this happening. If you could try and pull this one out of the bag, he's going to be able to make the ground up close enough. He could get a couple of tags in here, but unfortunately, teammates are here to answer the prayer, and 6 HP on Roman off that headshot, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. And
Well, at least Entropiq save up as much as they possibly could in that previous round, and that they kind of needed to, because here we are, we found ourselves on match point, and honestly, I'm really blown away by how well sAw are doing right now. You know, we kind of spoke about how they had a little bit of a redemption arc that they needed to fulfill given their performance in the group stages. They've come back really swinging here. We find ourselves in this final round. sAdodo has bought into that AWP once again. Entropiq don't really have anything to answer it here apart from, you know, utility, which hopefully they can use, and they are avoiding outside as much as possible. And that's pretty much where sAdodo is posted up. But of course, we talk about being that kind of swing player, the back and forth in heaven between the outside and the A site. Entropiq clearly realizing that this is a possibility, opting to play this very slowly.
The different speeds and approaches that these two teams have taken are really interesting. We saw it fantastically well managed by Entropiq in that first half, and also at the start of this second half as well, but they seem to have lost the grasp on it, and unfortunately sAw just got a read on them. Really good on their side, but as we go further into this round, the sneak outside is going to be coming through. Mutual is going to be turning his back, unfortunately, at the wrong time. He's going to spot them out. No, he doesn't. He's going to get spotted instead. Drops down the vent, or tries to at least. Stays alive, but gives up outside completely. And sAdodo is going to get caught off guard. Are we going to be seeing overtime on this run? It's going to be possible, but Just is going to be trying to be the answer for this. But no, Lackey is going to catch him off guard. Hits the head. Just, he falls, and now Arky, Mutrus, Roman have to bring this back in disadvantage. 3 versus 4. Bomb is down towards the A site. Difficult to bring this back, but Arky is going to be able to take down Crad. This is one of the potential options you need to take down, but unfortunately with Roman going out, that's A main completely gone. And with just looking at the economy, I think they have to call this quits. They don't have enough money to fight back into the next rounds.
This round was crazy scrappy. You talk about a team's tenacity, and Entropiq clearly trying very hard there to make sure that this isn't their last round on this map. So they do really well to bring that one back, and it's very much these kind of isolated one-for-one trades on odd areas of the map, not necessarily in a super coordinated fashion, right? They're happening all over the place, and it seems to work out really well for Entropiq. They get themselves the advantage, and they force sAw to have to back off and hold on to the 2 rifles that they had. But at least sAw's still able to buy up here. And we bear in mind, we got at least 3 rounds of match point before we even hit that overtime. So there's still potential here for sAw to sweep it out. Unfortunately, Entropiq, Alien's got his off again.
Oh, it's going to be the push in towards the site. They're going to be able to get 2 kills, and they've taken over the A site to be able to try and answer this. You said there's a long way to 15 rounds, but they're definitely doing their work. Now it's going to be sAw with their work cut out for them to try and bring this back. They've still got some utility, 2 smokes, 1 flash, 2 sets of kits as well. Flash is going to be used. This is the only real sort of entrance into this. Arky has to do his best, but unfortunately he's completely flashed. He mistimed that peak. He goes up, actually. Roman gets the frag over towards A main. Sorry, the camera's there. Confused me for a split second, but Lackey, his teammate, going to be last one's left alive. Crad going to be able to get a kill into Roman. Now equalizes it back up. 2 versus 1. The bomb is ticking. They've got 2 kits still remaining. They find 1. Now they have to find the second one, but the defuse has to come through. The shot to put out, but he has to hold this. He can't do anything but hold it, and unfortunately, Lackey comes out from the sidelines, gets the kill, but loses his weapons, and that was a good round from the side of Entropiq, but a little bit too close.
Yeah, a little too close for comfort there. If Lackey was just a centimeter or a split second slower on the draw, you might see that go a completely different way. But this is great news for Entropiq because, well, saw's economy is completely broken. And they have to take advantage of this. If they win this round, we look very good for an overtime. So now, seeing a little bit of that aggression, a lot of utility used towards outside, but it's a bit of a fake, which sAw seems to have read into, but it's an anti-eco, so they're probably just expecting a rush.
Yeah, that was super painful to see, actually. That was one of the positions you should have been trying to check as soon as possible. Unfortunately, they weren't able to, and that was a nice flush on that front. This should be quickly over round, but there is actually going to be 2 kills coming out. That P250 going to be coming in hand, but unfortunately, Crad and a Forrester comes to the throw of their team and manage to get a bunch of kills. And I just want to say, like, he's currently on 31 to 15. He is really doing a good job of being able to hold up his team, not only with the AWP, but just with weapons in general. He's just been able to communicate fairly effectively with his team, and I think that was something that was lacking with Nickelback in the round where he had the Tech 9 and spotted the AWP play on ramp.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of spoke about how Alien was arguably one of the best AWPers in the tier 2 scene, and I mean, he's doing so well to keep Entropiq in this, but of course he's not doing it alone. There's a lot of really solid backup from the likes of Crad and even Nickelback, and it just feels so good saying that name.
Always does make me laugh, but you know what? This could be overtime. We're going to be seeing this in a couple of seconds. The first real series, the first best of 3 of the ESL Challenger League Season 40 playoffs. You could see it go all the way to overtime, and Entropiq, they want this. They want to try and win this first map, and they're doing absolutely everything they can. And sAw, they're trying to claw it back and stop Entropiq from being able to take this next round. It's all going to be down to Mutrus here. He's going to be the difference for this team, and Elian's going to be the one to open, not the player you want to be 1v1 in this situation. He flicks in between the Molotov is going to be going down, but the M4 is going to be ready to answer. Alien's going to catch one player off guard. He gets the kill, pushes through and towards fence, cleans it. Mollies it as well. Knows that option is now shot off for the CTs. This is going to be now opening into the entrance. Mutrus is going to be able to find one, but Crad is going to get taken down. So is Lackey. Mutrus doing a fantastic job onto the side, but Arky, he comes in from the sidelines. It's going to be a 3 versus 2 all of a sudden. Alien is going to be having to answer a lot of praise with Forrester on the sidelines as well. A bomb is down on the site. They're going to have to pick this up, but advantage definitely on the side of sAw, trying to clutch the straws right now, stopping this win from coming through. Alien has to get hold of that bomb. He's now going to be able to pick it up. Forrester going to be able to find one. Alien with another, and now a 1 versus 2. How has this gone the completely wrong way? The advantage on the other side, and just he can't do it, and that's going to be overtime. We'll see you guys in a second as we bring back through into overtime. Don't go anywhere. Back, and we're going to be going into overtime in just a second. We're just waiting for a couple of players to finish connecting after, having a quick break, and it's going to be a potentially long match here, Sam. And did you expect this to go all the way to overtime, especially in that kind of fashion?
Absolutely.
We're going to hop right into the game right now. So finish your thoughts.
No, just it's really surprising, I think, to see sAw doing this well. I'm really happy to see that, but they have given over a few rounds that they shouldn't have, which I think really contributes to this over time. We'll see if they can close it out here as we start our first round.
Yeah, right off the bat, obviously, lots of money in the bank for this first round. AWP is on each side, Ilion with his one, and honestly, he's an absolute beast of that. He ended last round, last half, actually, I think, with, I think it was like 34 kills, if I'm right in saying, and maybe 18 or 19 deaths, so really well played for him on that first half. CTs, though, saw, probably feeling a little bit sore after losing that round. It was a 4 versus 2 situation. Definitely a round that they should have taken in the bag, and lucky he makes it down, but at what cost? 48 HP, and Arky, he's going to be down low towards like Brad is going to be able to plot out one, misses his shots. AWP is going to be there, Nickelback's going to be falling down, and another one of Stadado is going to be the answer. Third one could be one in the bag as well, but instead it's going to be Mutuals coming out from the sidelines in this first round. Well, you know what? I'm not going to say, well, never mind. Lucky goes down. It's going to be Ilion left. Once again, I think it's the third time in a 1v5.
I mean, Stadoto was somebody that you had brought up a little while back, and we were talking about AWPers, and I mean, this is a great way for him to start that first round in OT, you know, give his team a massive advantage, try and help them create that buffer that they need. Well, talk about a buffer, they need a runaway. They need like some crazy momentum here, because they looked so much better on so many of the rounds, and there were a few missteps that Entropiq were just so good at taking advantage of. We'll see if Entropiq can keep that up here, however, because of course things start to look a little dicey if you continue to lose rounds. So hopefully they can bring themselves back in.
Ilion not going to be able to hit that first shot or get an opportunity to really do too much at the start of this round. The last round was actually really good for sAw. I felt it was very well played by the players over towards ramp. We saw Mutuals backing up his teammate very well. I don't know, hitting those all-important shots, and they weren't easy shots either. I mean, one of them did walk into his crosshair, but that second one, it was a little bit tight on the par. If he'd missed that one, that could have been ramp lost completely. Now we're going to be seeing Just push through. And he's going to be able to find down Crad, and that is an absolutely beautiful start for them. Now the bomb is going to get picked up, but no, it's not, because Arky, he has the spot through the smoke, gets the kill. AWP is going to be dropped down, and so is Nickelback. Unfortunately, not going to be releasing another Albin, and Roban it's down Forrester, Lackey, last one left alive. He's the crowd's favorite player, 007. He's had some really heroic moments in this game, to be honest. He's done fairly well overall, and some of the points in which he has been needed, but the consistency really hasn't been there. Pushing up towards the ramp, there's actually one of these players watching him. I think it's actually Arky. I'm right in saying, yeah, it is. I think he made any steps, I'm not sure, but Arky's just waiting here for him. He's like, yeah, I mean, someone's going to be coming from this point. He misses his shot. Lackey picks it up. That's exactly what you want to be seeing, but unfortunately, he's got another 4 to go. Picks up the bomb. 15 seconds on the clock. There's no way he's going to make it.
Valiant attempt. Good try there. Does manage to get 1 kill, so it's something. Don't get the bomb planted, though, so don't have that extra little bit on top. Feeling a little washed out here, I think. A bit rough. They need to, I mean, there's only theoretically, right? If they lose these next 2 rounds, then we're at only 2 rounds left. So Entropiq kind of need to bring it back a little bit here, and you can see their funds slowly dwindling away, getting rougher and rougher as each round goes on. And Ilion is he's trying so hard to be that menace on this AWP, but it's so difficult for him to kind of maintain that strength, especially because sAw seem to be kind of focusing in on him a little bit.
Like, honestly, if you know that a player like him has been so impactful in the game, you have to take him out. He's really been the clutch player for Entropiq. There's been other players like Nickelback and such, but I mean, is there any others that you'd say has been really sort of doing crucial moments?
I think Crad has had a couple of really strong moments, and Mutras has kind of tried to continue being that force we've seen before, but Roman has really stepped up in a way that we really didn't see in the group stages. I mean, he was there, he was doing well, but he's really stepped it up massively. So good to see that. Good to see that sAw don't rely on, you know, kind of 1 or 2 player hero plays, but that every player has that opportunity to really be a star.
Completely agree. It's been really just fantastic across all these players, but Forrester, he's going to be able to find Roman. We talk about him being a great player, and unfortunately, he's going to lose his head. Lackey's going to be pushing out here. Doesn't quite realize that Arky's going to be right there. Peeks around the corner, takes him down, picks up an AK for his trouble as well. If I'm right in saying, that's going to be a nice upgrade. No, he doesn't actually. Sticks with the M4. Just is going to be over towards the fence. He's going to get mollied out. He's going to have to back off over towards A main. This is information all the time here for these players. I don't know, with the AWP. Realizes that they could be up behind him, but now the execution's going to be coming in. They're going to be going down towards vent. One kill is found. It's going to be leaving them with only 3 players to try and do this. There's actually going to be a play on site. They take him down. Arky, the god player, takes down 2. Nickelback and Forrester are going to be losing their lives, and now Krad, glad you had the injury on him, unfortunately, isn't going to be able to do much, and that's going to be another half done. We'll be going into the second of the overtime in just a second. Could switch on over, but like, what are your highlights, I guess, of sAw? We'll go back to our
highlights of sAw. I think so. Something that I've said a couple of times has just been how happy I am to see that they're not running the exact same thing that they were doing in group. So when we were prepping for casting the group stages, because you and I actually got to cover Group D, which was their group, and I went back and I watched some of their older games on Nuke, and they did this lobby rush, right, round after round after round. Even when they were just getting absolutely stomped into the ground, they just kept doing it over and over and over again. And then we came into the group stages and they started doing it, and they kept doing that, and every now and then we'd see them go for like an outside play, and sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. Clearly they weren't as heavily practiced on it, but it did feel like they were trying to move into that direction. For the most part, however, it was just continuously lobby rush, lobby rush, lobby rush. And it's so nice to see that now, you know, we've had a 2-week break, we've come back, and this was their map pick, so you know that they've been putting in the time on it. They've been trying really hard to up their skill, up their game quite a lot, and I love to see how much they've adapted, how much they've changed over those last 2 weeks. You know, they've really taken the time to make crucial adaptations, and we're seeing it here. They're forcing Entropiq to the absolute brink here, and again we find ourselves on that match point. I mean, this is dire straits for Entropiq.
Yeah, and Roman's going to be the first one to find a kill. Drops down on top of Nickelback, and unfortunately the trade is going to be coming through. Krad's going to be able to find a second one for himself, and Forrester is going to be coming in from above. Gets a kill, but the trade's going to be coming through, and same could be said for Krad, who's coming just in time for his team. Mutrus, 1v3 this round, pretty much written itself. It was a very fast round. He's going to be able to pick up 1 kill. That's going to be a 1v2. This is not a potential bomb, though. Unfortunately, it's on the dead center of a site, so to try and get into the site is going to be one hell of a mission. He's got 2 flashes. He's going to have to do some kind of James Bond kind of stuff here to get in, and I'm not fully sure if he's going to be able to do this. So there is still that match point, and we know how Entropiq can play at that kind of pressure. We saw it just before overtime. Mutrus, he's looking to be that skeleton key I mentioned that Ilion really has been for the rest of his team. No real information being given out from the CTs as to their current position, and Mutrus must be wondering, like, where the hell are they? He's going in for the peaks, and this is really good just general gameplay for him. Now footsteps are going to be going out, and they're just leaving him and baiting him out, so now he has to plant at A site. There's no way he can really get down over towards B site in time, so this is going to be the bomb going down. He might... I guess, actually, no, 18 seconds? He could... Never mind. That was a really good hold. That was super smart. I mean, if you look at where Alien was holding that from, he was making sure, like, yeah, sure, if they plant on A, we'll go for a 2v1 retake. He goes down B, I got him.
That was really sad, though, because if he had attempted the plant, then very likely they swing out and they just shoot at him. And Alien just holds that angle, waiting to see if he peeks in, and he does. I mean, Mutrus just finds himself in a really impossible situation there. And I mean, he has been the player on this team who is able to make those 1vx clutches a reality. It was something we saw even on Inferno, where it felt like they were looking pretty lackluster. We still saw them manage to do that in both of their series in Group D. So yeah, if it was going to be anybody, it was going to be Mutrus. But unfortunately there, I mean, Entropiq, like you said, play that super smart. Not looking to give up here. Yes, they kind of conceded quite a few points in this overtime, and a bit rough that they have to start on the T side for the overtime, because I mean, you'd love to start on the CT side and build up that scoreline so you only have to win 1 round. Now, however, they kind of have to bring it back, and they can't really afford a misstep.
Can't afford any kind of missteps going into this one at all. Execution Well, at least the molly is going to be going out and out towards outside. Nice little bit of distraction, potentially forcing player hands from the side of Entropiq, but it doesn't change any of these players. Lackey, he's waiting for the information to come through. He's holding that crack. We're going to see if he can actually get a shot at one of these players. Mutrus, meanwhile, he's been a little bit sneaky beaky, like going outside. He's going to be able to make his way all the way over towards Hell, but Nickelmac is going to be looking for information on this front. He might just be able to get it. He's going to be able to take the shots. Easy kill for him. He spent on the end here for sAw. They used the majority of their utility on a bit of a fake on the outside. They've got no more smokes left. They've got 3 mollies. This could be an execution over towards the A site if they so wish, but they're all lined up to push down in towards vents, and they're playing this slowly. We've seen this kind of strategy before. Krad's going to be taking the corner. He's going to be able to find one headshot going in for the second one, but he can't. It's going to be a trade-off, but Forrester from above, he gets one, but the second one can't be the answer. Just Nuke. They're going to be left in a 2 versus 3. Or he's going to miss the shot. They have to get the mollies out here, but they're not. Utility is going unused. The bomb is going to be getting dropped down, and momentarily that Molotov, unfortunately, going to really get fully used in where they need it. But the kill's going to be coming through. Elion's going to get dropped down now. Block 1, and Nickelback going to be coming into a 1v1. Lucky with the AWP going to be peeking around the corner. It's going to be a difficult situation. He's going to get spotted. Kill, round, and game. sAw pick up the game, and we're going to be going to a quick break, and we'll come back to break down exactly what happened in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.